Okay, so welcome everyone to our team call, our bi-weekly team call. And tonight we have a good friend of mine, David Atkins. And you all know the premier groups that we're doing. They didn't start with me, they started with this guy. And that's because last year he went from a diamond coach to an elite 5-star coach in 1 year, and he grew his team. He told me he grew his team from 50 coaches to 450 coaches in 1 year. Okay, don't we all wish we could grow our team? You know, how many percentage is that? That's like 500% or whatever. And so I asked him what he was doing, and he said he was doing these premier groups. So I said, okay, that's what we're going to start. We're going to adopt that system, and that's what we're going to start doing. So David, we have done that, and we many of our diamonds are running, versions of that premier group, and we're all running them, on the same time, on the same schedule, and it's working out really well for us. So thank you very much for that.
Awesome.
And tonight you have some tips to share with us, so I'll just let you take it away.
Oh, wow. You're making me jump right into it. Well, guys, Greg, thank you. First, I want to thank you for letting me be on this call. I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to talk to you guys. So a little bit about me to everybody on your team. My name is Dave Atkins. I work full-time with the New York State Police, actually here in New York. I'm a lieutenant. I've been with them about 17 years. My wife works full-time as a school teacher who was just recently in 4-star qualifying. She's a star diamond coach, and she works full-time. And we have 3 little girls, ages 10, 7, and soon to be 4-year-olds. So I could say this, like everybody says, life, is busy. Life is busy. So the things I'm going to go over in tonight's call, and some of it's going to strike you guys right in the chest, and I know Greg saw some of these points because I shared this with my team, and I'm just going to be very straightforward. And excuse me, I want to shut down my, because I'm getting that my Facebook is popping there, so I want to exit out. So some of this information, I hope everybody has a paper and pen, but I'm really going to get into, talking, being a parent of 3 little kids, working full-time, my wife working full-time, me taking my business from, 54 coaches. I'll never forget that number in August 2013 to today. I think we're just about 1,200. And the team is growing consistently. But I realized at the end of the day, I want to come up with a list for my team and say, guys, these are the 10 things you need to do. So I'm going to get right into the 10 things. I don't want to waste anybody's time. I hope you have a pen and paper. And guys, I'm going to be very honest with you. I'm going to be very straightforward because that's how I'm with my team, is that this business, I always say, this business, it's not hard tasks we have to do every day. It's simple tasks, but it's very hard work, right? It's hard work, but it's simple tasks. So with that, I'm going to get into my 10 things, and I hope you have a pen and paper. And starting with number 1. Number 1 is social media. That's the number 1 thing. You have to be doing social media. But guys, this is the thing I'm going to share with you. You are not Beachbody, okay? Your name is not David Atkins Beachbody. Your newsfeed is you. You need to be your brand. Like, everybody has a brand. Like, for me, I struggled. Like, what was my brand? Well, my brand is smack right in front of me. I'm a busy dad with 3 kids. I work full-time. My wife works full-time. But we've been able to build an amazing opportunity by working out from home. So you need to share your story, your Facebook. And I don't know any of you on here except Greg. With my team, I went on and looked at people's news feeds. If you guys start following me, because you can follow me, follow other elite coaches. I'm sure you definitely should be following Greg. Like, the things you need to do is you need to be sharing your story. You need to be relatable. This is a relationship marketing business. I never, ever, even if you go on my wall now, I'm not talking about the 21-day fix challenge pack specials, or I'm not talking about, the specials of the month, or my website is up there. And I think like this morning's post was about that, how my daughter interrupted my workout, my wife and I, but how we count our blessings because we're able to work out from home. Like, we do it in a way to connect. So you need to get in the back office and follow some of the elite coaches or the top 10, or find people that are like you. But the biggest mistake I see is, is people come across as salesy. And you got to remember, and you got to ask yourself, if you weren't you, would you follow yourself? Right? If you weren't you, would you follow yourself on your news feed, or would you find it comes across salesy? And the second thing to that, guys, with social media is because of what today's age is, I built my whole business basically through social media. Now, yes, I talk to a lot more people, but because of my job being with the state police, I really can't talk to guys as a lieutenant, to the guys that I'm supervising, because it's a conflict of interest. I'm not talking to people that we're locking up or arresting, right? So I had to rely on social media. And I have to tell you guys, the last thing I want to say with point one is, don't be doing like 4 or 5 different platforms at once, okay? Like John Maxwell always had the rule of 5. Never forget this. It's about doing the same thing 5 days in a row. And if you had a gigantic tree, no matter how big it is, and you hit that tree only 5 times a day, and that's all you did, 5 times, eventually that tree is going to fall and drop. But if you're hitting that tree and hitting another tree, meaning you're doing YouTube and Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, at the end of the day, you're going to have a scarred forest. And because you haven't mastered one. So pick one, master it, then move on. For me, I did it all through Facebook. I do YouTube because I like videos, but don't feel you need to be doing many different things. So the first point is, though, be your brand. You're not Beachbody is how much I can stress. And that's number 1, social media. Number 2, write this down. You need to stay plugged in. And what do I mean by that? You need to be on your team calls with Greg. You need to be on the National Wake Up Call. You need to be engaging with your team. You need to be following other leaders. You need to be engaged in your challenge groups, okay? You can't say that you want to be successful in this business and not be plugged in with the systems that are in front of you. You can't miss the team calls. You can't miss the National Wake Up Call. For me, yes, I'm working, but I will listen to it on the recording. I have the app when it's on there where you can get it, the feed. So I listen to the app on my phone. I listen to it. Sometimes I dial in. Whatever it is, you need to be getting on there. You need to be on your team page. You need to be engaging with your team. So you need to stay plugged in. Okay? Number 3, and this is a big one that's going on right now. Events. Okay? Events. You need to be attending events. That's number 3. Right now, Coach Summit's coming up. And I don't know if you are all going, but I can tell you that whatever reason that you're not going, you need to find a reason to get yourself to events. My business, my income grew 700% from the year I went to Summit, from the year in Summit to the next Summit. All right, it's an investment. I'm not telling you to charge anything, but you will make your money back tenfold. And guys, we're all busy. And I set it up my Super Saturday, the last one. Whatever reason you're saying, oh, I don't have a babysitter, oh, I have kids' activities, oh, I'm going to miss my son's soccer game. Guys, it's an excuse. If it's important to you, you'll find a way. Otherwise, you'll find an excuse. You have to treat it like it's a doctor's appointment. Let me tell you, the sacrifices you make now because you may miss a kid's activity or your kid's activity, you got to realize you're making the sacrifices now so you can live the life you never had later, right? You got to make the sacrifices now. You need to get to events. You're really not a coach until you get to Summit. And that's just so important. There's still time to register to go to Summit. There's still time to register. And behind that is getting to your Super Saturday events. You need to be going to events. You have to treat them like they're doctor's appointments. All right? I tell, unless you're an active duty military and you're overseas, any other reason, not at an event, unless, God forbid, you have a death in the family, you need to be at Summit. Period. That's like no ifs, ands, buts, or ors. If you want to be successful, you need to be there. Number 4, sacrifices. Okay? If you don't succeed, it is on you. Nobody else. Okay? Guys, I was placed in the inside leg of my coach who quit. And my coach's coach had him on his inside leg. And therefore, I am literally was put out in an island surrounded by nobody. I've never had a coach placed under me. I never had anybody from my upline help me. And the problem is so many times we tend to look out that window to our right and left, right? We look out to that window right and left. We're looking for that person, that next great coach, that person to come to you and bring success. And the only person you need to be successful in this business is the person that you're looking at in the mirror each and every day. And that is you. Okay? It is on you, nobody else. You must have a championship work ethic and be willing to make sacrifices, all right? If you want to be the best, you need to work harder than everyone else. You will not get to where you want to be without sacrifices, period. The biggest sacrifice I had to make was time. Guys, there's many nights for me with all the activities of my kids and work, which I'm sure many of you can relate to, that for me, it's late at night. Right now, it's 9:15. I'm doing this call with Greg. I got to get off. I am tired. It's been a long day. I traveled to, I don't know if any of you from New York, about 2 hours one way and 2 hours back for meetings up in Albany where the state police headquarters is. I did that. I had things with my family. It's 9:15. I got to get my challenge groups. My inbox from my Facebook is loaded. I need to stay up late tonight. You need to be willing to make sacrifices if you want to be successful. For me, the biggest one was time and cutting out like TV. All right? And you need to have one thing that's going to motivate the heck out of you so that you make the sacrifices. Maybe for you, it's your family. For me, it's my family. And you have to understand, guys, and this is a big important point with this, that you will face adversity and you will fail. All right? I will never sugarcoat and tell my coaches, oh, this was an easy business. No, it's an unbelievable, rewarding business, but you're going to face adversity and you will fail. Your success is going to be based upon your ability to accept and overcome failure, period. All right? That's number 4, sacrifices. Number 5, it's another important point, your why. Guys, people ask me, what's your alarm clock? For me, it's my passion. I literally toss and turn at night of things, whether it's with the team or with like building my why or what I can do to help my coaches or what I can do to help my challenges. That's my alarm clock. It's my passion. My why wakes me up every single morning, 4:30 in the morning. You need to write down what your why is. Why do you do what do you do? And do you realize today, right now, there are people today that quit, gave up, stopped in life, or whatever other thing went wrong in their life, but you have the power to help and make that person achieve success. You, right now, each and every one of you has somebody out there that you can motivate. Don't think that you need to have six-pack abs to be a successful coach. Don't think that you need to look a certain way, feel a certain way, be at a certain point in your success journey to be a successful coach. No, there are people out there just like you that in a heartbeat would love for you to be there for them. You can make a difference in someone's life today. We are lacking leaders in this world, and we need more leaders. And each and every one of you is a leader simply by being a coach. There will be some days when your alarm clock is going to go off. It's going to say, 6 o'clock. Then you look again at 6:05. But your why is going to wake you. It's going to say, get up, push yourself, get up. Your mother may need you. Your kids may need you. Whatever it is, get up. Your why is going to push you when you can't push yourself. Right? When you want to quit and give up, your why is going to give you the edge you need, that advantage you need, that lift you need to get you to the next level. Your why. Part of my why, I think, and I told my team, is all of my team, I realize my team, to take care of them, that their success is dependent upon making this business work. And if I don't produce and lead them, then I'm failing. That's my why. So for you, if you have 1 coach or 10 coaches, you have to have a why, and part of your why should also be to help your team. Guys, you have to have a why. It's so important. That's number 5. Number 6, you have to be organized. I can't stress this one enough. I just had a call with a couple of my coaches. I'm working to get to Diamond, and I'm going to do it on the team call on Monday. Guys, your organization is not your Facebook Messenger or your Facebook messages. Your organization is not 37 sticky notes everywhere. Your organization is not your address book or your Facebook friends. You need to, whether you like paper and pen, you need to have a binder with tabs, or if you're a person that likes, technology, you need to be organized. For me, guys, I use Evernote. All right? I use Evernote. Doesn't mean it works for everybody, but I always am organized. I have a prospect list. I have who the person is, what the date was the last time I spoke to them, and what the conversation was about. And it's a never-ending journal of our conversation. All right? So many times, and I ask my coaches, let me see your list. And they're like, oh, I have it. Let me see it. Screenshot it. Send it to me. You know what? And I challenge all of you when you get off the call to take a picture of your list and be transparent, be real with yourself, and post it on your team page or send it to Greg and let them see. Do you really have a list, or are you lacking and you're looking and you scroll through your Facebook messages and you've just randomly follow up with people? If you do that, you're losing money every single day, period, because there's people you're going to forget to follow up with because life gets busy and you're simply going to forget. You need to be organized. Straight up 100%. That's number 6. Number 7, Success Club. Guys, this is non-negotiable. Non-negotiable. And I would not ask you guys to do it unless I wasn't making it that for myself. I think I'm at 43 months in a row in Success Club with the business, and it's non-negotiable for me, period. If you want to grow this business, you need to be in Success Club. And for me, it all ties into my systems. As Greg was saying, you guys call your challenge groups premier groups. For me, it's if I'm getting people in my challenge groups every month, right, I'm hitting Success Club. And if I'm hitting Success Club and paying people in my challenge groups, I'm going to get coaches at the end of the month. I keep it simple, right? Success Club should be your goal every single month. And don't think it's great if you can hit 10 points. That's awesome. Then you get the leads. But guys, don't feel that every month you have to 10. Just hit your minimum of 5. But Success Club is non-negotiable. And again, guys, these are the points. If you want to build this to 6 figures, and you seriously say you're all in, every one of these points, you need to be all in with every one of these points. It's not something, well, I could do that 75%. You need to be 100% on all of these points. And Success Club was number 7. Number 8, personal development. Guys, everybody wants to shine bright like a diamond, but no one wants to be cut. A diamond in its original form is like a piece of coal, right? You can get to that next level, but I'm telling you right now, you won't in that form. You will make 6 figures in this business. You will can make $1 million in this business, but you won't in the version you are today. You can have what you want, be what you want, get what you want, but you won't in that version. If you think the person you are right now will get you to the level, you are sadly mistaken. But if you are willing to get cut, if you are willing to take constructive criticism from your leaders, if you're willing to listen to everything somebody like Greg says, who's an unbelievable coach, if you are willing to go through professional development, if you are willing to get an accountability partner, if you are willing to grow and learn more tomorrow than you are today, then you can get to that next level. But this version is not going to take you to that next level. And this is what I had to realize, all right? I fought personal development for 2 years. And I can tell you that when I started kicking it in high gear in summer 2013 is when my business took off. For me, 2 books a month. On top of 2 books a month, constant audio. On top of that, going for me now, like this weekend, I'm flying overnight. I'm flying to Chicago on Saturday. I'm coming back on Sunday to go see Eric Thomas, E.T., at a conference. Personal development is very important, okay? You cannot not read books. You cannot watch every show, every sport game, every movie that comes out. If you want to shine bright like a diamond, you have to be cut like a diamond. So going forward, when a leader tells you something like something you need to do, guys, get rid of the ego and the defense mechanism, all right? You can't shine like a diamond if you aren't willing to get cut like a diamond, and the version you are today is good, but it definitely isn't phenomenal. If you are willing to grow and make some changes from other leaders who are more successful than you, then and only then will you reach your goals. Start embracing constructive criticism and stop hanging out with people who are so inferior than you that they're never going to tell you the truth about yourself because they need you too much. You need to start hanging out with people at a different level than you because they will stretch you and teach you the things you never heard before. And so many times people say, well, how am I going to do that? I don't have a mentor. Guys, my mentors, to this day, most of them are the books that I read and the things that I listen to. All right? Now, yes, as you grow in this business, you get to be connected to bigger leaders and doors start opening for you. But you need to rise and grind and work it and read and let the authors be your leaders in the beginning. All right? They will hold you accountable in ways you've never been held accountable before, and you will be able to do what you've never done before. How do you do this right now? Guys, read books. Embrace it. For me, I love John Maxwell. Love him. I've read like all of his books. and Eric Thomas is a huge one for me. Embrace people who are more successful than you. Stop hanging with people who are going to tell you what you want to hear or what you already know. All right? And I want you to write this last point down in number 8. What you do to improve you is what will affect your bottom line in your bank account. The more you grow, the more you make. The more you learn, the more you earn. And I'll say it again. What you do to improve you is what will affect the bottom line in your bank account. The more you grow, the more you make. The more you learn, the more you earn. Write that down. Does anybody need me to repeat it? We're good? All right. Number 9. Another big one. Consistency. I see so many people that come in, they come out of the gate 100 miles an hour, and then they disappear. Or they're there for 3 days, and they miss for 4 days. Or they're there for 2 days, and they miss a day. You need to show up every single day. You cannot disappear. Some people think it comes easy to me because I'm successful in this business, and therefore I can work this business every single day. But let me tell you, I, too, every single day get punched in the face. Now, I don't always share this with my team. I don't always talk about it because I don't want to discourage my team. But life has not been crystal clear for David Atkins, right? I've had my haters. I've had my critics. The harshest critics and people in the beginning is my family. They didn't always want to support me in this business early on. I still have times where I get the flack with that. It happens to us. But life is always going to hit you in the face. Guys, a personal story of mine, one of the most amazing people that I ever had the opportunity of being part of her life was my mother-in-law. My wife's mother was the coolest mother-in-law. She was there for my kids, babysitting all the time. She was always here watching my kids. And about a year and a half ago, she found out in May that she basically had cancer in her breast. Healthy as can be, cancer in her breast. I watched my mother-in-law go from being healthy to literally withering away and passing away in 3 months. I never saw something happen so quick. Those 3 months were very hard on my wife. It was very hard on my family. It was hard on my kids. It came out of nowhere. But I'm just telling you that wasn't a reason for me to stop in those 3 points. So easy, I could have just threw the towel in and said, you know what, I have to deal with this. You are going to get punched in the face, and your why has to be greater than that punch. Let me tell you this story. Nobody ever got knocked out by Mike Tyson and ever got back up. Buster Douglas, if you guys remember that fight, Buster Douglas was almost at a 10 count. It was 4, 3, 2, 1, and ding, 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 he was saved by the bell. The whole world said, that's it. If you guys remember this fight, that's it. Once Buster Douglas comes back out, Mike Tyson is going to hammer him. I remember this fight. And that is exactly what happened. Mike came out and was like, I got him. I got this kid up against the ropes. Well, let me tell you right now, some of you right now, life has you up against the ropes. And you have to do me a favor right now. You can't give up. You can't give in. And if life has you backed up, I need you to do what Buster Douglas did. Buster Douglas started fighting back. He knew, I know you knocked out 30 other people before me, but I will not be the 31st. You have to tell life, I don't know who you have been dealing with, but you haven't dealt with me. So in that fight, they went another round, and another round, and another round, and then finally got to that round, and Buster Douglas knocked Mike Tyson out. And the whole world was like, shocked. Goliath has been knocked down. And the world said, how did that happen? And they went to Buster Douglas and asked him, what happened? And he said, I'm just going to be honest with you guys. Here was the challenge. The challenge was, it was real simple. Before my mother died, she told the whole world, I'm going to beat Mike Tyson. And 2 days before the fight, my mother died, and he had the decision to make. When his mother died, he could die with his mother, or he can make a decision to wake up and say, I can live for mom. And he knocked Mike Tyson out simply because his why was greater than that punch. His why was greater than defeat. His why was greater than the trials and tribulations. And I'm telling you, if you don't know what your why is, and your why isn't strong, you are going to get knocked out every single day. But when you know what your why is, you're going to be consistent every single day. You're going to show up every day, and you're going to have amazing, amazing success. Guys, consistency. This is not one day on, one day off. In the beginning, it's 7 days. And if you have one of these, you can work this business anywhere in the world, right? If you're traveling or on vacation, it's all you need. Number 10. Be a product of the product. I say this, guys, and no knock. I'm going to use an example, CrossFit or whatever, gym classes. No knock to that at all because it's great workouts. But you can't be doing CrossFit 5-6 days a week and going to the gym 5 or 6 days a week and think you're going to be successful in this business. You won't, okay? You need to be a product of the product. You need to be drinking Shakeology, and you need to be pushing play. Okay, if you want to do extra workouts or runs, like I'm a runner, I enjoy running on the weekends. I always was a natural runner. I run races. I run, but I'm always pushing play. And why, guys? Because then you have a story to share. How can you not drink Shakeology if then somebody says, hey, Dave, what flavor Shakeology are you drinking? Oh, I'm not drinking Shakeology. Or what program do you think? What worked for you? I know T25 is good, but, I really go to the gym 4 days a week. When you're a product of the product, guys, the business becomes so much more simple because you can share your story. This business is a relationship marketing business. It's not a true network marketing business. We are not selling jewelry or soap. We're not, guys. We're changing people's lives. And when you're a product of the product and you can share that, it's such a natural process because you can talk about you. You have your story, your brand. So you must be a product of the product. Don't fool yourself and think that you could be successful and not be A, on Shakeology, and B, push and play. And the last one I have is a bonus one, and I shared this. I want to share with you guys is, guys, embrace the system. Okay? Embrace the system. What does it mean by that? There's so much training in the back office, the new Coach Training Academy. You have these training calls. You have the new things Greg's teaching you. You have calls like this, and I'm giving you 10 key points. The success is at your fingertips to be successful. If you were to open up a dry cleaning business in your local town and your competitor who is up the street had a dry cleaning business, you can't go to that other dry cleaner and ask him the best way to be successful because you're competition. But in this business, you're in this business for yourself and you're not by yourself, meaning we're all here to help each other. And this business isn't hard, and stop looking for the secret to success. Guys, there is no secret. Success never goes on sale. It never goes on discount. It comes through hard work. So embrace the system. Take all the things that I said tonight. Take all the things that Greg has taught you. Take all the things on the National Wake Up Call and embrace it and go after it. Like, that's my number 11, because I find so many times people like, this business, it's not working for me. And then when I really dig in, they're not doing the free viral behaviors. They're not getting on the team calls. Their Facebook looks like a sales pitch all the time. They're not reading personal development. Guys, it works. I'm living proof. I can't get any busier, right? And I built an amazing business, and I'm even hungrier than I was before. So in summary, guys, the heading of each one: number 1, social media. Number 2, you need to stay plugged in. Number 3, get to events. Number 4, sacrifices. Number 5, your why. Number 6, you must be organized. Number 7, Success Club is non-negotiable. Number 8, personal development. Number 9, consistency. Number 10, product of the product. And bonus 11, embrace the system. So, guys, those are my 10 or 11 points, and I wanted to see if you guys have any questions on this or any questions on anything with the business, different perspective, whatever I can do to help you guys out. I'm here for you guys.
Awesome, Matt. That was great, David. You're such a motivational speaker. I wish I could be as motivational as you are, but I'm sure people have questions, so go ahead and take yourselves off of mute and ask David any question.
And guys, don't be shy. I've been there. Like, I know what's going to happen. I'll get off and you guys will be messaging me questions. It happens. Like, I know if you're thinking, guys, go ahead. I'm here. Whatever I can, from day one, whatever And it doesn't need to be about this. Anything.
I got a question for you, David.
Yes.
And it goes on what Greg just touched upon, and that is a wonderful motivational speaker, which you are. Can you tell us a little bit about transitioning into that? I mean, obviously, when you first started leading your team, I'm going to say you probably weren't as good as you are right now as a motivational speaker. How did you get to that point? Now, you mentioned personal development.
Yeah.
What else did you do to get better at doing that, to be a better leader?
This is the best thing I'm going to tell you is you cannot compare your chapter 1 to my chapter 12, right? Because the thing, guys, is that no, I wasn't always like this, but I'm going to tell you, the secret to somebody's success isn't that some big, great thing. It's the small choices you make each and every day. So I didn't have some quantum leap. I think that's something that Jeff Olson says. I just truly jumped into personal development 110%. Like, I kid you not, it's 2 books a month. When I'm washing dishes and my wife's giving the kids bath, I'm listening to audio. In the shower, I'm going to see Eric Thomas this weekend, who motivates the heck out of me. And it's just every single day, and I commit to that every single day. And that's, and I try to tell people that that's what comes natural to me. Like, in the beginning, even when I started off, and what's your name?
Brian.
Brian, thanks, Brian. Brian, in the beginnings, the one thing is, like John Maxwell says, work on your strengths, not your weaknesses, right? I will never be good at certain things, but for me, sometimes talking and public speaking is more natural, and that's a strength of mine, so I worked on building that, and I gravitated towards other motivational speakers and things they said because that was me. So my answer to you is, if it's something to get motivated, it just starts with the decisions you make today. And it's the books that you read. It's going to change your mind, because the way you change your mind is like a muscle itself. It's what's going to come out of your mouth the same way. So the best advice I can give you is personal development, which is in the 10 things I gave that.
Thank you, David.
You're welcome.
Hey, David, I got a question. This is John Tantillo.
Hey, John.
Did you read Personality Plus or any of the variants of that book?
I went to Danny Johnson's Gems.
Is that similar?
Similar. Like, I'm a Ruby, which is also, I forget what color that is. I think it's, well, let me see. What's your question? I think with Personality Plus, I'm considered I think
it would be a cleric.
Cleric.
Yes. No, so the question is, how do you use that knowledge of your coach's personality types to change how you talk to them and how you present a list like this?
I listen a lot. Like, when I get on one-on-one calls with these coaches, if they're struggling, I always let them talk it out first, because I find 99% of the time people know the answer to their own questions, and I make us try to figure it out. And I let them try to tell me what's wrong. We work through it together. But when it's stuff like what you're saying with my team calls, like, this is me. Like, I always am like this on my team calls, and I've been fortunate, and I'm sure there's people that say, "Oh my God, it maybe David's too fired up." It could be, but you know what? It's just me. I can't change it. I get fired up about this. I'm excited about it, about helping people. And when it comes to working with people, like, I know emeralds, and I think emeralds, I don't know what that is in the book, but I know, like, they need stuff black and white. So I know when I'm working with people one-on-one, what I need to do to work with them one-on-one for them to work and be successful. Like, if there's somebody else like me, they just work their butts off. I get them motivated. Let's go. If it's an emerald and they need stuff in black and white, maybe I'm giving them a punch list of these are the things you need to do, and I itemize them out, right? If it's a sapphire, which is somebody that's, like, excited and partying, I try and make it fun. You follow what I'm saying? Yeah. So I try to do what they're saying, but I can't change how I am personally. I can change how I work with them individually.
Yeah, but at least you do acknowledge it. You kind of change the circumstances depending on.
Of course, of course, absolutely. But this call, Greg heard this call. I did this with my team 2 weeks ago, and you know what? And it got people like, you know what? I'm not organized. And I made everybody do a show of hands. Who honestly is doing all 10 of these things? Raise your hand if you're not. And a lot of people were very honest. They weren't, and it's just sometimes it's a wake up call, because I hate coaches that think that this business is so easy, like it comes easy. It's not. It's easy tasks. It's just hard work. That's all.
I have a question, David.
Yes.
I only just started recently. How can I increase the social media? I'm only on Facebook right now, but how can I increase the people to follow me or to see what I'm doing?
So consistency is number one. You need to be posting every day. I would only stick with Facebook. It's my recommendation. And there's no reason why every day. What I was doing, I would go to a little tip that I did to when I first started building my network is I would go to my friends' pages, right? And then I would look for people that we had mutual friends in common. And I would send them friend requests. Only if we had like 3 or 4 mutual friends in common or more. Because otherwise Facebook can recognize you that if you don't have any common friends that you could be spamming them and you can get put in that whole Facebook jail, which we don't want that to happen. But I would do it like two friends a day, and I consistently posted, and I had many window watchers, and finally people came around. And I also made it a point that when I got new friends that I would at least like their stuff that they posted, just to show that there's engagement. And then once a week, I would then check my friend requests, which you could do under your activity log. And if they didn't accept it, I would cancel it. So I never had too many open friend requests. That's how I built my network in the beginning and expanded in the beginning. But consistency is huge. You'll be very surprised. Even the ones that you have, that when you start something new, Darren Hardy says it's like pumping a well of water. When you first start to pump the well of water, it's very hard to get the water to the top. And eventually it starts coming out. You don't need to pump as hard. It's the same with this business. People are going to watch what you're doing to see if you are who you say you are with coaching. And people will come around. So my advice to you is consistency. Back to that point I said. Be posting every day, multiple times. Follow other leaders. See how they are posting. Be your brand. And expand your network if you can by adding some friends to your page, at least a couple a week.
Good. Yeah, I've been doing that.
Good.
I doubled it in the last 2 months. So.
Well, then there you go. Then your thing is consistency. What's your name?
Lisa.
Consistency, my friend. Consistency, and you'll be good.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Who else?
Hey, David. This is Jay Garza from Austin, Texas, originally. And I don't have any questions, but you are definitely a motivational speaker. And I just want to thank you for sharing these super tips with me. I'm just starting out now, and these will be invaluable.
No problem, Jay. How's the weather out there? You guys doing all right?
Well, I'm in Grapevine, Texas now. Austin got flooded really bad, and we've been flooded up here. But first sunny week in the forecast. We're catching up on our work outside, so I'm hoping it lasts.
All right. Well, good luck. Stay safe out there, and thank you for the words, Jay. I appreciate it.
Thanks.
Kick some ass.
Will do.
All right. Who else?
Well, I wanted to ask about Evernote.
Sure.
I started using Evernote, but I feel like I'm kind of floundering around. Did you find something that would kind of help you put that all together?
Hey, what's your first name? What's your
Jerry.
first name? Jerry. I'm going to show you. I think I can share my screen. I will open my Evernote and I'll give you a quick 1 minute because I don't want to take you guys all night, but I'll show you basically what I did. And let me see if my screen shares. Here's my Evernote. Can you guys still hear me? Yes? Somebody raise their hand? Yes? When shared?
Yes,
okay.
we can hear
All
you.
right, so this is my Evernote, and basically the way Evernote works, guys, is that you have notebooks, and picture under each notebook, it's like a notebook on your desk, you have pages. Instead of them being called pages in your notebook, they're called notes. So I have my notebooks broken down by different categories. So my prospect one, to give you guys an idea, is I have it called Families I'm Going to Help Next. That I learned from reading from Darren Hardy. Instead of prospects, Families I'm going to help next. And it's pretty powerful to look at that every day. So here is all of my prospects, okay? And if you want to see an example, like this guy, Pete, the name of the note is his name. Every day that I talk to him, I have the date I spoke to him, and I have what we spoke about. All right? The last time I sent was a follow-up. How are you? He wrote back. He's not on Facebook a lot. He's freelancing, looking for work, whatever it is. So I have each prospect under a note. Another thing I have, guys, a great tip for me is that I have business docs. This is the other notebook I'm in all the time. And within here, I have a note going over when people give me a price objection on Shakeology. I have my new coach welcome letter. I have all the 5 steps of the 5-step invitation process. And guys, with Evernote, it wirelessly syncs to all your devices. So it's on my phone, it's on my iMac here, it's on my laptop. So, you know, I have one of the business docs, I have notes with all these different things. I also have a note for videos. These are the most common videos I tend to be sending people recently. So I have the links all set up and done. So basically, I started this a couple, maybe 6-8 months ago because my other platform, the company went out of business, and stupid me, instead of exporting my people, I lost about 900 contacts, and I lost everything I had like that. So I didn't know what to get. I think I actually asked Greg what he was doing back then. I don't know if Greg, you remember me telling you that I lost everything. And I just went with Evernote because I liked that it was wirelessly syncing. I kind of felt like you did. And I just started with putting my prospects in as I remembered them. And then I said, you know what? I need a notebook for business things. So I went in and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to put the 5 steps in here. You know what? People keep asking me about T25. I'm going to have a note for videos and put the T25 link so I don't have to go to my back office and get it every time. And it just built on that. And now I have a notebook for like my customer leads. I have a notebook for my Shakeology leads from Success Club with the people in there. And I constantly add and I change things, and it grows from there. But it's just start with one note. Just start if you use it. Not
well,
saying
I have lots of
what?
I have lots of notes. I didn't get the gist of to make the notebook and put the notes in the notebook.
Yep.
I thought they were separate.
Look at it just like a regular notebook, different subjects, like you're in school. You have your math notebook, your English notebook, and then you only have your math now, you only have your English. So treat it the same way. Don't overcomplicate it, but you definitely want to organize yourself.
Hey, and David and Jerry, this is Rebecca Goebel. I actually am a huge Evernote fan as well. And I actually created a PowerPoint presentation for some friends of mine at work and did a lunch and learn months ago. And I'm happy to share that document with the team and put that out there. It's meant for me to talk through it. So maybe I can even, do a team call for Greg later, or but in the meantime, I can definitely share that. And Jerry, if you want to send me a note, I'm happy to answer any of your questions on Evernote because I'm a groupie. So I can probably answer just about any questions that anybody has, and even tips on like some of the advanced options that really make being organized really helpful.
Yeah, that would be cool. We could set that up.
Sure.
Yeah. You go, girl. Anybody else? Anything, guys? Who's going to Summit?
We should have about 100 people going.
Nice. Nice. Guys, even if you go by myself, my first 2 summits, I was by myself, just so you guys know. Then last year, I think we were at about 8 to 10, and I know now we're probably in the mid-40s. But if it means you go by yourself, you go by yourself.
Awesome.
Anything else, guys? Oh, I'm sorry, Greg.
Oh, was that another question? No? Okay. Well, I didn't want to keep you too long, so, we'll go ahead and let you go. I know you got lots of other things to do tonight before you go to bed. So thank you very much. I think everybody got a lot out of your 10 points, 11 points, and you're a great speaker. Thank you very much.
No problem, guys. Go kick some butt. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, David. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.